we always ask our guests for actionable takeaways for listeners. Given all the change that is happening with technology and AI, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to leaders in real estate who are trying to navigate this change, especially when it comes to adopting AI innovation?
Do not fear technology. Do not fear AI. Have a conversation with your technology leaders, with your lawyers. There are privacy concerns. Have those concerns addressed. And please go online. There are free courses online available on AI basics, what is AI, what is machine learning. It will pay dividends. Don't be afraid of technology. Technology is your friend, not your foe.
First and foremost, align on the problem you're trying to solve. So if we're all aligned that there's an opportunity here, what is that opportunity? It requires significant collaboration across the business. And then we determine how we believe success can be determined. And we align as a group that this actually can be achieved. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to run the test. Right. So it's really important that we're able to align on what success looks like and where we can test to actually get that insight. And we need all the players in the room to basically do that.
I believe in being a fast follower, essentially, where I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be a market leader. I don't want to be on the cutting edge. I don't want to be the first to market on something. I don't have a need for that. But I also don't want to be a laggard. So at the end of the day, I like the fast follower approach. I think, with AI, it's a bit of slow and steady because, as we talked about, it's changing so much and it's going to change so rapidly over the coming years. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself and implement something that's now being replaced by something else 6 months later. So you got to kind of feel your way through it, but go forward. Don't be afraid of it.
I really think you need to be curious. And I say curious because what I've learned is the way I think a team works may not always be the right answer. And so if you're curious, you go into these conversations with a mindset of what can I learn today? How can I teach? How can I absorb? How can I? And so I think curiosity, you have to go into all of these meetings with a sense of curiosity. If you go in with a sense of curiosity, I think people will respect it. They will also gravitate to you because we're going to create this safe space where everybody can have an idea and no ideas are wrong because you're being curious.
I think you have to lean in hard to AI, but you also need to realize it can be an enormous force for good, but it's only going to be a force for good if we humans retain agency over it and actively work on using it to build a better built-in environment. It could go completely the opposite way, but you've got to lean in. This is a really important mega trend societal change that's going on, and we need to be curating it. I love buildings and I love physical real estate. There's a big side of real estate that treats it as a financial thing and has no interest in the assets at all. I'm on the other side. I think we need to pay more attention. We want great architecture. We want great design. We want great user experiences, and everyone should be able to have it. And I'd love fundamentally for the industry to over-index on building a better built environment.
Get leadership buy-in. That's the most crucial thing for me. Like, it's the second we explain this use case, where we're going, why this makes sense, and they were like, okay, do it. That was everything that we needed. Because we knew what we were doing. We knew how to solve this use case, but we needed to get that leadership buy-in. And then once we were left to be free to figure out these use cases and solve them and deliver a product, the results were there.
And I think building on that, go after the quick wins, get something small, get a win on the books, make it publicly visible within the company, champion the team, doing it in a really visible way, and then move on to the next thing. Don't try to boil the ocean with a chat JT that has a million bells and whistles. Do the basic thing, do the training, get the results, and have some proof points around that, and then just keep going and going and going, and you're going to have that really good feedback loop. But I think where people get bogged down sometimes is trying to do way too much, and then you get sidetracked really easily.
I would say be courageous and take that first step. If you're being held back because the enormity of it is kind of too vast, or if you don't have the perfect plan, or if the road's not charted, at least for me, I think that if you're navigating change, particularly in a field that's not yet written, like data was 8 years ago or AI is now, pick the right team and just have faith that the team's going to figure it out. Every plan's perfect till it hits battle and on day one, and then you got to change the plan anyways.
Do not subordinate it, i.e. do it yourself. I'm hosting this Vibeathon next week, and I'm teaching CEOs of AEC firms how to vibe code. They'll build a bunch of garbage code. We know this. But as soon as they said, I'm going to send my IT guy or my innovation guy, I'm like, nope, that's not what this is. This is about you being hands-on on the computer, figuring it out yourself. If you are unwilling as the leader of the company to tinker, have intellectual curiosity, and do it yourself, then you need to fire yourself.
I don't believe you can outsource your clarity. I think the difference as a leader is your vision and your expression of it. I think you should be the chief repetitive officer, no matter what role you have in your company, and repeat the vision so your team understands it and they know how they fit. Change is coming. Like, get your arms around this data in this digital world and make it clear where you're going, then lead like you mean it. Own what you own. And if you don't, then make it clear this is what we're focused on. Like, operate with strategic foresight and build for the long game. I really have a problem with companies that have to do quarterly reporting versus, the private companies that can look longer and the leaders have a vision for where they want to be in 2 or 5 or 10 years. That is where real change gets done, in my opinion. So don't listen to the buzzwords. Buzzword bingo is everywhere. If it's not AI in it, people aren't selling it. Just back off and look at, what do you want the features to be and how do you do it? AI may or may not be a piece of it. It's just a tool. It's not going to replace you. It's really not. If you use it as a thought partner, as an efficiency tool, then you will be such a better leader.
Until next time, stay curious, keep innovating, and thanks all for joining us. Thanks for listening to the Real Estate Meets AI podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the Real Estate Meets AI podcast on your favorite streaming platform and follow us on social media at cove.inc. Until next time, I'm Sandeep Ahuja.